Oh, you know what that sound means? It's Travel Tuesday, the time of the week where you start planning or at least thinking of a getaway. But what are you really getting into when you hit the road or travel by air? Joining us now live is CBS travel editor Peter Greenberg. Okay, Peter, I like to be surprised every week. Where are you now?
Now I'm in Birmingham, Alabama, heading later today to New York.
Okay, and you were in Huntsville last week. I, by the way, was just in Myrtle Beach, but I digress. Just until yesterday. All right, first question. Southwest Airlines says tough decisions will need to be made to restore profits that usually doesn't mean anything good for the U.S., the customers. How could profit-boosting moves at the top trickle down to travelers?
Well, they're not going to trickle down. They're going to be announced very soon. Goodbye to open seating, and what that means is they're going to start charging a premium for seats towards the front of the plane with a little bit more leg room. But that also means you may say goodbye to something else, and that is something that's been branded by Southwest as part of their entire marketing campaign for a number of years, which passengers love, not charging you to check your bags. They've always had free bags for anybody on the plane, 2 bags up to 50 pounds each. Wall Street never liked that. They thought that Southwest was leaving a lot of money on the table when you consider how many billions of dollars other airlines make for those ancillary fees. But Southwest made the argument then that it was such a negative touch point for travelers that by not charging them for checking their bags, the needle would move and people would fly Southwest, which apparently happened. But that still didn't make the Wall Street analysts happy. And right now there's a new investor group knocking at the door at Southwest, and fasten your seatbelts, we may be paying for bags.
Oh, I know that'll be disappointing for those who fly that airline frequently. All right, kind of on the flip side almost, JetBlue is opening its first airport lounges here in the U.S. And I know we've talked to you about the airport lounge wars in the past, but what does JetBlue entering that area mean for struggling airlines that may be reducing their footprint?
Well, JetBlue is late to the game in the lounge wars. They've never had them, and they're only announcing 2 right now, one at JFK and one in Boston. And that doesn't mean that the other markets where they are the dominant carrier, like Fort Lauderdale or St. Louis or Chicago or some other areas, are going to have them. You're not going to have one for JetBlue in Chicago. Not going to happen. And they haven't revealed what it's going to cost to join that club or who gets access to it based on what kind of card membership you have. So right now, very much up in the air, especially at a time when JetBlue wants to attract customers on their overseas routes, which they've been cutting back on because of lack of revenue. So it's a bad timing when you think about it, considering what the market's looking like.
Yeah. All right, and now forget snakes on a plane. A flight from Norway to Spain made an emergency stop after a mouse crawled out of an in-flight meal served to a passenger. I would have had a heart attack. Is this the weirdest thing you've heard come out of an in-flight meal? Ugh.
Well, first of all, it was not an emergency landing. It was a diversion caused by people going, ugh, like you just did.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is the mice is the least of your concern. When it comes to in-flight food or airline food, let's face it, airline food is an oxymoron. You don't eat it because you're hungry, you eat it because you're bored. And in many cases, a lot of people have found, hair in their food. They found crushed glass in their food. Catering operations have to process so many thousands of meals, hundreds of thousands of meals a day, that these things do happen. Listen, I believe that you bring your own, you bring some fruit, no alcohol, have a little club soda, and you'll be fine. You're not on the plane to eat.
Okay, that's true, but still, a mouse crawling out of my food would have, if nothing else, it would have just given me a bit of a heart attack. All right, Peter Greenberg, thank you so much as always, CBS travel editor. We will hopefully talk again next week.
You got it.